Hey guys, I'm gonna make a video on how to hand feed a sick chameleon or a chameleon that's been on a food strike for quite a while. Now, first thing is, I do not recommend you doing this unless it's absolutely necessary. When you first do this to your chameleon, it's gonna stress him out a lot. Now, Petrie, when he was younger, I had to hand feed him for about 2 months straight. He had MBD and he would not eat nothing. So I had to find a way to hand feed him, and I had to hand feed him for 2 months. So that being said, he's kind of used to this, and I haven't had to hand feed him in a while, but I got a request for this video, so I figured, I'd go ahead and make it, and hopefully it helps a few people out. Now, you can use crickets, you can use whatever you want, but I'm going to use just a regular giant mealworm. And what I'm going to do is just get the mealworm, fold it in half like this, grab it from the tail and the head, and fold it in half like this. Now, what you do is you get the mealworm and you rub it on the bottom lip of your chameleon like this until he opens his mouth and he'll take it. Now, with my left hand, I put it around his neck like this, and with my pointer finger, I just kept it there so he couldn't move away from the worm as I rubbed it on the right side of his face. Now, I'm not squeezing and I'm not pushing him towards the worm or anything. I'm just keeping my finger there so he can't move away from it. And you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to hurt your chameleon. So you want to have patience, and you just want to put enough pressure on his lip to get him to open it up and eat it. But you don't want to be too rough, or you might end up hurting your chameleon, and you don't want to do that. Now, when you first do this to your chameleon, he is going to just be squirming around and, not wanting to stay still. But like I said, I've done this to Petrie, quite a few times when he was younger, so he kind of knows what I'm doing. So he's not too bad. Every now and then, he'll squirm around, but it's not too bad. The thing with this is you don't want to do it unless he's not eating and, he's really sick. And it stresses them out quite a bit, especially with you touching them and stuff, and trying to open their mouths and stuff. It freaks them out a little bit. So I just wouldn't do this unless I really have to. And if you do this, you want to make sure your insects are gut loaded with like all the vitamins and nutrients and stuff like that, calcium based diet. And you might want to dust them with like vitamins or calcium or whatever it is, just to give them a little boost. And it's going to show you a few times here, and that'll be it for this video. Now, I'm not pushing his head towards the worm or anything. I'm just keeping my finger there so he can't move it. See that? I'm just keeping it there so he can't move his head to the left and move away from the worm. Now, the first time you try this, it's going to take some time for your chameleon to eat that first mealworm. But once it takes that first mealworm, it should get a little easier, because he'll figure out what you're doing, and eventually he'll just let you come up and just rub a few times, and he'll open up pretty quick. Now you got to be careful not to get bit. When I first started doing this with Petrie, he bit me a few times, and he didn't bite me too hard. It didn't cause me to bleed or anything, but it did hurt. They got really sharp teeth, and it can, if your chameleon's pretty aggressive, you got to be careful not to get bit, and him holding on for a while, and getting you really good. But it's a simple process. You just got to have your chameleon, be relaxed, be calm, and not moving around too much. If they start moving around, just calm them down. Put your hand over their eyes like this. Give them a few minutes to relax and calm down again, and then go ahead and try again. You don't want to make it too stressful. Just try it for a few minutes, and if you can't get it done, put them back in the cage, leave them alone for a few minutes, and then try again. You just gotta have a lot of patience with these guys, especially if they're on a food strike or they have like a sickness or something like that. You just gotta be really patient, and just be easy with them. You don't want to feed them too much. You want to feed them enough, and you don't want to be too rough when you're like handling them. And I think this is the simplest and most effective way to feed them. You just rub the worm like this, See, he's starting to move around a little bit. Just want to keep him relaxed. That's pretty much it. I'm not pushing my finger towards his face. I'm not squeezing him or nothing like that. I'm just keeping it there, trying to keep his head in place, and it makes it a whole lot easier. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope it helped somebody. I wouldn't recommend you doing this, like I said, unless your chameleon is really, really sick and needs it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to my channel. And thanks, guys.